Hare Krishna, everybody. So today we will hear from Priya Darshini on the topic of uh, the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that Bhakti is the essence of entire Bhagavad Gita. Just a quick point that the weather is bad in Toronto and my internet connection may get disconnected. So I will try to join via alternate means as soon as is possible. But Priya Darshini will be able to then share and continue our presentation. Priya, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna everyone. I request permission and blessings from all the devotees, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru Parampara, Sri Sri Radha Krishna, offering the summary of Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 to 6. Bhakti is the essence of all Bhagavad Gita chapters. Please forgive me for my shortcomings and mistakes. Now let's do the invocation prayer. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकाय चक्षुरुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायै ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु युतपदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं सात्वितं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Bhagavad Gita 9.34 is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence verse. Can any one of the devotee please read the verse and its translation? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
The verse, Prabhuji. Manmana bhava bhakto.
Search for it.
Mataji, should I try?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Manmana bhav mad bhakto mad jiva mam namaskuru mam evasya yukta evam atmanam mat parayana. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So 9.34 is the essence of chapter 9. Chapter 9 is the essence of Bhakti section. Bhakti section is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all scriptures. Bhagavad Gita is crown jewel of spiritual knowledge. 9.34 is the only repeat verse in Bhagavad Gita as last instruction in 18.65 plus 18.66. These Bhakti essence spread throughout Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita verses are divided into 16 themes. Can any one of you please unmute and read the 16 themes, Prabhuji or Mataji?
I can, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
1. The soul and transmigration. 2. The characteristics of the self-realized person. 3a. The level of knowledge. 3b. How to receive knowledge. 4. Mind and sense control. 5a. The yoga process. 5b. Renunciation of work versus work in devotion. 6. Levels of God realization. 7. Defeating impersonalism. 8. Demigod worship. 9. Devotees and non-devotees. 10a. The relationship between Jiva, Ishvara and Prakriti. 10b. The material modes of nature. 11. Varnashrama Dharma. 12a. Bhakti. 12b. Ananya Bhakti.
Thank you, Mataji. So next, let's see the key memorization and key theme verses. So this is the list of 150 key memorization verses and key theme verses across all 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. These are very, very important verses in Bhagavad Gita. If you know these 150 verses, you basically will know lot of Bhagavad Gita. So today, for our Bhagavad Gita summary, we will try to cover many of these verses. Are you all ready to read many of these verses today?
Ji Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. So today's focus will be, today for Bhagavad Gita summary, we will be mostly concentrating on Bhakti and Anadya Bhakti part. Bhakti can also be mixed Bhakti because you are under the control of 3 modes of material nature. Ananya Bhakti means pure Bhakti. That is, no matter what happens, you will continue your Bhakti. Our aim is to come to the level of Ananya Bhakti. Next, let's focus on many of the key memorization and key theme verses of the 150 verses. And in the process also summarize each of the Bhagavad Gita chapters 1 to 6 at a high level. Bhagavad Gita is the crown jewel of spiritual knowledge. So let us all develop devotion. Here it has been mentioned that Bhagavad Gita should be, So the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Shri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Lord Shri Krishna is God. He is a person. Lord Shri Krishna also has feelings. Lord Shri Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. Bhagavad Gita is understood only in the mood of devotion, like that of Arjuna. Only by devotional service, one can revive one's relationship with Krishna. This is described in Bhagavad Gita 11.54. By study of Vedas, by austerities, by charity, one cannot see Krishna, God. This has been described in Bhagavad Gita 11.53. So let us all develop devotion. Here, it has been mentioned that Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the mood of devotion, like that of Arjuna. But I don't have that mood of devotion. I am a neophyte. Then how should I understand this? Degree of devotion will vary. Arjuna is a pure devotee and Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. So, we should start in the mood of devotion if we don't have devotion. And if we already have devotion, we keep increasing our devotion till we become a pure devotee. The result of understanding Bhagavad Gita is that you will become purified and you will go back to home to Godhead. Now let's see chapter 1. Title of chapter 1. Title of chapter 1 is Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. The Sanskrit name is Arjun Vishad Yoga. In verse 1.14, Krishna makes a dramatic entry in Bhagavad Gita, seated on a magnificent chariot. Krishna is a Bhaktavatsal. Krishna takes a lower position of a charioteer to serve his devotee Arjuna. Various signs of victory for the Pandavas are described here, such as Lord Krishna is associated with the Pandavas. Whenever and wherever the Lord is present, God of fortune is also there. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana. And Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now, both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself. The venue of Kurukshetra is a holy place which will favor pious Pandavas. Lord Krishna has a transcendental counsel. Both Lord Krishna and Arjuna were seated in a chariot donated by Agnidev to Arjuna. This indicates that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the three worlds. Now let's see the purpose of chapter 1. First purpose is Arjuna's devotee qualification to receive spiritual knowledge. When Duryodhana saw the armies, he used political speech. But when Arjuna saw the same armies, Arjuna felt compassion even for the soldiers of the other side. The next purpose is to let me know the need for scriptural knowledge on how to live in this world as a soul. Otherwise, you live as a materialistic person as shown by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana's materialistic actions. Some of the materialistic qualities described are attachment. Dhritarashtra was the king of the world but was helpless because of his attachment. Plus, Dhritarashtra was unfair to Pandavas. He did not treat his sons and Pandavas equally. Attachment makes the powerful powerless. Because of attachment, they cannot make right decisions. Next quality is Duryodhana is expert in his speech but has evil intentions. In Kali Yuga, good speech is considered scholarly. Example to understand this is a cobra decorated with jewel. Instead of being cautious of the cobra, people go to jewel, forgetting that the cobra will bite. Therefore, do not mistake good speech as spiritual advancement. Person's caliber is known by purity, not by speech. Even pure devotee Arjuna, even in presence of Krishna, got bewildered by using Pratyaksha Praman. Arjuna said, I want to see both sides. Generally, in this world, Maya comes through eyes and Krishna comes through ears. Three ways to get evidences are Pratyaksha means direct evidence, which is not very good because of our imperfect senses. Next is Anuman. Anuman means hypothesis. It may be something like this. This is not a science. Next is Shabd. Shabd means spoken words by the Lord. It's perfect. It is received through oral reception from authoritative sources. Pratyaksha causes illusion and Shabd takes us out of illusion. When Pratyaksha or sensory perception causes illusion, consult with Guru, Sadhu and Sastra. In this chapter 1, Arjuna gives 4 reasons to not fight the war. First is compassion, even for the soldiers of opposite party. Loss of enjoyment, cannot enjoy victory because it is tainted with blood. Third reason is fear of sinful reaction. And next, destruction of family tradition. In chapter 2, Arjuna will give the 5th reason of indecision as a reason to not fight. From chapter 2 onwards, Krishna answers all these points raised by Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. Now let's see chapter 2. The title is Contents of Gita Summarized. The Sanskrit name is Sankhya Yoga. Arjuna is indecisive. Arjuna's options are first, to fight. If Arjuna wins, he cannot enjoy because win is tainted with killing his friends and relatives. And if Arjuna loses, then Arjuna dies. And Arjuna's third option is not to fight. Then Arjuna has to live by begging, which is disgraceful for Kshatriya. Arjuna was also thinking about his duty as a Kshatriya, and Arjuna thinks all options, whether to fight or not fight, all were lose options. Hence, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna in verse 2.7 and inquires, what is best in the long run? Please instruct me. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse 2.7 and its translation?
I can, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Karpanya Tota Upahate Subhavas Prachintam Dasmas Samidasesha Ye Akshara Sayanyasya Bruhi Tasme Sishya Ta Aham Sadi Mam Svam Prapanam. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Thank you, Mataji. When one thinks, I don't know what to do, is the beginning of intelligence. Intelligence means to know what to do when we don't know what to do. When I don't know, I have to seek help from the Supreme Lord. And in the material world, we have to seek help from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. At initial stages of my life, I cannot just trust my intelligence. I have to do regular scriptural study to develop higher taste of spirituality. Scriptures are my intelligence. Senses are always going to wander. But if I let my mind fixed on senses, that becomes a problem. So, Krishna discusses about bhakti for the first time in Bhagavad Gita in verse 2.61. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon Krishna is known as a man of steady intelligence. Krishna explains Sthita Prajna section on how to become fixed in Krishna consciousness so that one can come to 2.72 to remember Krishna at time of death and enter the kingdom of God. Krishna goes step by step to bring Arjuna to bhakti level and counters Arjuna's argument to not fight. In verse 2.13, Krishna, with his first instruction of Atmanyan, you are not this body, but you are a soul. Krishna counters Arjuna's compassionate reaction to not fight. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse and its translation?
Hare Krishna, I can read this one.
Yes, Mataji.
2.13 Dehino asmi yata dehe komaram yavanam zara tatha dehanta prapti dhirastatra namoyate. As an embodied soul continuously pass in this body from beyond to youth to old age, the soul similarly pass into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Soul is eternal, no death for eternal soul. So, compassion for the temporary body which cannot be saved is ignorance. Krishna counters Arjuna's loss of enjoyment to not fight with the first application of Atmanyan, which is Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda is the first step to get out of bodily concept of life. If we come to know that we are not this body, does not mean that we should stop acting at bodily level. We are still in this material world. We have to act. Krishna explains how to live in material world in a dharmic way following scriptures. Meaning, doing your duty according to scriptures. Karma Kanda provides material enjoyments at a dharmic level. Sense enjoyment is regulated. Doing duty results in material gains, either heaven or kingdom on earth. Not doing duty results in sinful reaction, material loss, infamy, and sin. Arjuna was thinking lose, lose, lose situation, but Krishna is showing win, win, win situation. Krishna says doing your duty is your best option. If Arjuna is killed, Arjuna will attain heaven. Or if Arjuna wins the battle, Arjuna will enjoy the kingdom on earth. Krishna counters Arjuna's fear of sinful reaction to not fight with a second application of Atmanyan. You know you are soul, hence think for eternal destination. Krishna says if you do Nishkam Karma Yoga, then your activity will bring no reaction. 2.47 is the Nishkam Karma Yoga verse. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse and its translation?
Can I?
Hi, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Just 1 minute.
Yes.
2.43. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Hare Krishna. 2.47. Karmanne vidikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetu bhut mate sangastu akarmanu. Should I read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Nishkam Karma Yoga means selfless, no personal desire. You are detached from fruits of work. Therefore, Krishna says Arjuna to fight with detachment, then there will be no sinful reaction. Hearing about Nishkam Karma Yoga, Arjuna asks 4 questions to know. Who is this Nishkam Karma Yogi? Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse 2.54?
You can read Matan.
Yes, Prabhuji.
2.54 Arjuna Uvacha Sthitapragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadi kim prabhaseta kim asita vrajeta kim.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, the 4 questions of Arjuna are: what are the characteristics of Nishkam Karma Yogi? What is his speech? How does he restrain his senses? How does the Nishkam Karma Yogi engage his senses? These were the 4 questions by Arjuna. In response, Krishna will answer the characteristics of Sthita Prajna. First characteristic is give up external pleasure and be satisfied within by turning mind inwards, meaning desires originating from the mind are to be given up. Mind is material. So Krishna says, look for happiness inside at spiritual level and not at mental level. Second is speech is determined by our thoughts. Sthita prajna is equipoised in happiness and in distress. In distress, do not become dejected, and in happiness, don't think of getting more and more desires. Accept whatever comes on its own course. For soul, both mind and body are external. Withdraw the senses like tortoise. Use the senses only when required. Senses are our weak points. We perceive the external world with senses. Wandering senses will take us into a storm. So, we should guard our senses. Restraint alone is not enough. Engage the senses in devotional service, meaning simultaneous to controlling the senses, positively engage the senses in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada explains that yogi is the one who can control the senses according to a plan, meaning engage senses in Krishna's service. If one does not regulate the senses, then fall down from spirituality happens. And therefore, 2.62 is a very important verse. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read 2.62 and its translation?
Hare
Yes,
I
Krishna.
can, Mataji. I'm sorry.
Yes, Mataji.
Point 62. Sorry.
Yes, Mataji, you can proceed.
Dhyayato visayam punsha sangat teju upadayate sangat sanjayate kama kama krodha abhichayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, dhyayato means contemplation. Contemplation is the problem. Seeing is not a problem. Simply by contemplation, that let me just consider this enjoying proposition, that activates the fall down sequence. We can, of course, come out of sequence at any stage described, but the lower we go, more difficult it is to come. More difficult it is to come out. At initial stages of spiritual life, We cannot just trust our intelligence. We have to do regular scriptural study to develop higher stage of spirituality. Scriptures are my intelligence. Senses are always going to wander. If we let our mind fixed on senses, then that becomes a problem. Imagination is the problem, not seeing. So, make a hill in the mind filled with Krishna. Krishna conscious activities, doing japa, doing devotional services. So, now let's see chapter 3. So, chapter 3 title is Karma Yoga. Sanskrit name is also the same for this chapter. Here, in this chapter, Krishna says how to become spiritually situated by controlling eternal enemy lust. So, steps to conquer lust is with intelligence, regulate your senses, situate yourself on spiritual platform. In Krishna says in 3.41 and 43, restrain senses plus situate yourself on spiritual platform. This way, you will be able to control your senses and eternal enemy lust. By doing these two steps, we can control and conquer lust. Now let's see how to perform Karma Yoga.
We can't hear you.
In 3.30, Krishna says that result of Karma Yoga should be offered to him because Krishna is the object of Karma Yoga. Therefore, dovetail your day-to-day work into Krishna consciousness and the result will be you will attain liberation. Acting with detachment is the post-activity offering, which later we will discuss in 8.7 pre-action meditation. Then, Krishna teaches us by comparing Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga. So, here Karma Kanda causes bondage. Avidwan and Sakta means ignorant and attached. And Karma Kanda keeps one in material existence because of attachment. Karma Yoga does not cause bondage. Vidwan and Asakta means learned and detached. And Karma Yoga elevates one to liberation because of detachment. Now let's see how should we help materialistic people to come into Krishna consciousness. In verse 3.26, Krishna says not to disturb materialistic people, rather engage materialistic people in devotional service. In 3.42, Krishna gives us the hierarchy on how soul, intelligence, mind, and senses should work. Soul is the topmost in the hierarchy and gives instruction to intelligence. If the hierarchy is otherwise, our mind will wander after the senses, and the result is we will get materially entangled. We can understand this from the image in the screen. The horses are the senses, and the person who is sitting in the chariot is the soul. If the chariot is under the horse control, then the soul cannot reach the required destination. But if the control is on the other way, that is, if the chariot is under the control of the soul can reach the required destination. That is, the soul can go back home, back to Godhead. Now let's see overall the summary of chapter 3. We have the short yoga ladder chart that it starts from animal life at the bottom. And then one tries to progress up and up. One goes to Karma Kanda and then step by step to reach Bhakti Yoga level. Jnana Yoga is the only level where there is no activity. Arjuna got confused in the verse 2.49, where Krishna said, Durena hi avaram karma. Krishna is saying to give up abominable activity. Krishna is calling Karma Kanda as abominable and telling Arjuna to give up Karma Kanda. But Arjuna is thinking that the war is abominable. And the second line in 2.49 says, Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. Krishna is saying Buddhi Yoga to mean Bhakti Yoga. But Arjuna is thinking Buddhi Yoga to be Jnana Yoga. So Arjuna is confused. So Arjuna asks Krishna, why do you want me to do Karma Yoga? Means fight, means abominable activity if Jnana Yoga is higher in the yoga ladder. But Krishna is asking Arjuna to do Karma Yoga of fighting to serve Krishna. Hence, Arjuna's Karma Yoga becomes Bhakti Yoga. Chapter 3 goes in circles. Arjuna is trying to get out of the war. So he says, I am not qualified for Karma Yoga. So Krishna says, if you are not qualified for Karma Yoga, then perform Karma Kanda, because Karma Kanda also involves doing your duty. Means Arjuna should fight. Now Arjuna says, no Krishna, I am overqualified for Karma Yoga. I am qualified for Jnana Yoga. I should renounce and go to the forest. Krishna says, even if you are qualified for Jnana Yoga, come down to Karma Yoga to set an example for others to follow. Now Arjuna asks Krishna, if I follow Karma Yoga, will I get liberation? Krishna says yes and gives example. Arjuna asks Krishna, okay, I want to follow Karma Yoga, but what drags me away? Krishna says it is eternal enemy lust only that drags ones away. Now let's see chapter 4. Title of chapter 4 is Transcendental Knowledge, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The theme of chapter 4 is centered around knowledge. Chapter 4 has many points. From 700 Bhagavad Gita verses, 4.9 is the single most important verse that one can go back to Godhead simply by understanding that Krishna's activities and appearance are transcendental. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read 4.9 verse and its translation?
Hare Krishna, I can write.
Hi, yes, Prabhuji.
4.9 Janma karma chame deviyam evam yo vetti tatvadaha yaktva punarjanma naidi maam edi so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna says that when we understand that our birth and activities are transcendental, then we will go back to Krishna. Then when we leave our body, we do not come back to this material world. Krishna glorifies transcendental knowledge by talking about the purity and potency of this knowledge. 4.38 is the crux of chapter 4. In this verse, Krishna says that in this world there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. This knowledge is knowledge of Atma and connection of the Atma with Paramatma, meaning our relationship with the Paramatma, that we are individual souls and our relationship with Paramatma is of an eternal servitor. When one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he enjoys peace within himself. Now, what is the result of acquiring such a transcendental knowledge? In 4.36, Krishna says that this knowledge can purify anyone and everyone. Even if you are the most sinless person, this knowledge will purify you. Now a question arises. If a person is sinful, then how can that person be knowledgeable? Let's see how to understand this. The knowledge is so powerful that even if the person is sinful, that person gets elevated by the mercy of spiritual master. This transcendental knowledge is like a boat. Srila Prabhupada has brought us this boat of Krishna consciousness for all of us. Now that we have come on this boat, what we have to ensure is that we should not jump out of the boat, even if there are difficulties or conflicts or disasters, because Being on the boat is always safer than being in the ocean trying by ourselves to swim. Next, the result of acquiring such a transcendental knowledge is in verse 4.37. Here, Krishna says that as wood is burnt to ashes by fire, similarly, fire of knowledge burns all karma. Karma is like a seed, and when the seed is burnt or fried up, it does not give any result. Same thing happens when we get knowledge and act in knowledge. Now, let's see how we get this transcendental knowledge. 5.34 is the spiritual master verse. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse 4.34 and its translation?
Hare Krishna, can I go for it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. From bona fide spiritual master, one gets this jnana by three things. Humbleness, which is pranipatena. Inquisitiveness, which is praniprashnena. Service-mindedness, which is sevaya. Application of knowledge is service. Humbleness means to admit that I do not know the way. You, spiritual master, you do. So please be my guide. We have to direct our consciousness inwards, but we do not know the way. Spiritual master knows the way and spiritual master provides the way. Second is inquisitiveness or inquire. Humbleness alone is not enough. We have to inquire what is wrong. Scriptures do not say to have blind faith in the name of humbleness. We have to ask. By inquiry, we develop jnana sakshu, means we develop our capacity for spiritual perception. We develop our capacity for deep thinking, and deep thinking leads to deeper observations. So we start seeing for ourselves what the spiritual master is seeing, and this happens by inquisitiveness. Third is service. Application of knowledge is sevaya, means service-mindedness. I am not body but soul. Krishna is God. All these are important realizations. So, humbleness enables spiritual master to show us the way. Inquisitiveness enables us to start seeing the way for ourselves. And service-mindedness is the application. By independent study of books, one cannot progress in spiritual life. Independent study can give us some preliminary knowledge, but our serious progress on the right path, one needs a spiritual master. Now, what is this role of spiritual master? Spiritual master is not body, but a soul and is a servant for Krishna, servant of Krishna. Spiritual master is enabling us to turn towards Krishna through his own example and through his connection with Krishna. Spiritual master does not come in between us and God. Rather, spiritual master removes what is between us and God. Spiritual master gives process by which that wall between us and God can be broken. Spiritual master gives knowledge and the process. Spiritual master gives chanting of the holy name and remembrance of Krishna, and this process purifies us. Spiritual master connects us with Krishna. Without spiritual master, we will not know what is authentic bhakti. Therefore, spiritual master is essential. This material world is a jail. The most precious item in a jail is the key to get out of the jail. And this key is with a spiritual master. And Krishna rewards them by giving them this key and glorifying spiritual master and the pure devotees. Krishna has given this authority of spiritual knowledge to the spiritual master. Without being submissive to the spiritual master, this knowledge of how to get out of this world does not arise in our heart. Now, what is the standard way to receive this transcendental knowledge? It is through parampara, the chain of disciplic succession and the saintly kings. But in 4.2, Krishna says that the chain of disciplic succession is broken due to effect of time. Now let's read this verse. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read 4.2 verse and translation?
Can I read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Evam parampara praptam imam rajarsyo vidu sa kale neha mahatta yogo nasta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna is saying that the standard, when he was visible to everyone roughly 5,000 years ago, the eternal knowledge was lost by the power of time. Due to the power of time, the system of yoga has been destroyed. Just as the milk will go bad due to time if we leave milk out as it is. But if you want butter from milk, then there has to be some positive effort for the positive transformation. Now, what would happen when the chain of disciplic succession gets broken? There will be a decline in religious practice, a predominant rise of irreligion. In verse 4.7, Krishna says that there will be dharmasya glanir, that is, people will not be able to practice dharma so that they can go back to Godhead. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse and translation?
Can I read?
I can, Mataji.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
go ahead.
Good.
Yata yata hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyuthana adharmasya tata atmanamam sajjami yaham.
Translation, Mataji.
Mataji, I can't see the translation. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata and the predominant rise of irreligion, at the time I descend myself.
Thank you, Mataji. So, whenever there is a decline in dharma, Lord Krishna appears. In verse 4.8, Krishna says 3 reasons why he appears in this material world. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse 4.8?
Can I?
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
can I?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
So it is 4.8.
Yes.
4.8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma sangasthapanarthaya shambhavami juge juge. The translation: to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear, millennium after millennium. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, Paritranaya sadhuna means protect the devotees. Vinashaya shadriskritam, to destroy the demons. Dharma samastapanarthaya, to re-establish dharma. Primary purpose of Lord's descent to material world is to appease his unalloyed devotees, to associate with his pure devotees. And incidental byproduct is that Krishna also kills demons. Krishna continues Karma Yoga discussion. Karma Yoga is the dharma, but how karma works? Which action leads to which reaction, and when that reaction will manifest, no one can know. Only Krishna knows how karma works. Hence, Krishna says, do not try to understand karma. Just come to level of akarma by understanding 3 things: karma, vikarma, and akarma. Karma means pious actions. Krishna says, to become steady in devotional service, do pious actions. Vikarma means impious actions. Krishna says, to stop further contaminations, stop doing impious actions. Akarma means actions that produces zero reactions, that is devotional services. We have heard from Diksha Mataji in great detail on the topic of karma, hence will not go in detail. We had already discussed that in verse 4.9, Krishna says that by understanding Lord's activities and pastimes as transcendental, we can purify ourselves and we can go back home to Godhead. But not everyone wants to practice Bhakti Yoga path. Hence, Krishna describes other paths of Varnashram and demigod worship. What is Varnashram? To reduce the individual struggle on spiritual path, Krishna created the social structure of Varnashram based on guna and karma and not based on birth. Varnashram is a system by which people can get elevated step by step. First, let us understand what is Varna. The four Varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. The Vaishya nature of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra provides for one's material needs according to one's psychophysical nature in the least uncomplicated and the most harmonious way. Varna or division of society are created by Krishna for material duties. Next, let's see about ashram. Ashram provides time-wise progression in one's spiritual commitment. First is brahmachari, initial stages of life. First 25 years, one studies spirituality at Gurukul. Then grahastha ashram. Though one gets married, he is still not attached and continues commitment to spirituality. Then is vanaprastha. After 50 years, one focuses more on spirituality. Then is sannyas. One mainly focuses on spirituality. Now let's discuss about why people worship demigod instead of Krishna. People worship demigod for quick results. Demigod worship is like a business contract. Demigods are devotees of Krishna, so continue to respect demigods. All demigods are at the same Jiva Tattva level like you and me. Demigod is a position, just as PM of Canada or India. Different person is there for PM post. Similarly, different soul is occupying the position of Indra at different times and in different pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. In SB 8.1.18, it has been mentioned that demigod names are not personal names. Demigod names are names of posts. In SB 8.14.2 says that demigods are appointed by Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Demigods do not have any authority to give you any benedictions unless sanctioned by Krishna. Result of demigod worship is temporary and insignificant benedictions. By demigod worship, attaining heaven is like going to a resort. After one's pious credits gets exhausted, one has to leave heaven to take birth on earth or in hell. Wanting to go to heaven is like an unintelligent child on a merry-go-round. This is described in SB 2.2.2. Demigod worship will keep you in this material world. Buy one and get three as free. That is, by birth in material world, get disease, old age, death as free. Demigod worship not to be done because it is aviti purvakam, that is wrongly done. This is described in BG 9.23 and SB 2.5.15. And in SB 2.3.10, it has been mentioned that whether one has no desires or one has desires or one desires liberation, he should worship Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even for material desires, one should go to Krishna. Krishna will fulfill your material desire in a way that is best for you in the long run. By doing Krishna worship does not mean either do Krishna worship or demigod worship. Rather, correct understanding is Krishna worship includes demigod worship as demigods are parts and parcels of Krishna. Demigod worship is not free of disturbance, plus you will not attain the highest perfection. Demigod worship does not open the doors of bhakti. Asking Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotional service is good. Even for material desires, go to Supreme Personality of Godhead. That allows devotee to enter into bhakti. If we stop demigod worship and start Krishna worship, demigods will not be angry. Rather, demigods become pleased when rebellious jiva turn towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you still have desire to worship demigods, please continue worshipping demigods. Just worship demigods properly, meaning do not offer bhoga to demigods. Just offer Krishna Prasad to demigods. Demigods will be pleased when they get Krishna Prasad. Demigods cannot be in the altar with Krishna. Now let's see chapter 5. Chapter 5 title is Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, Karma Sannyas Yoga. Chapter 5 is not renunciation of action. Rather, chapter 5 is about renunciation within action. Chapter 3 and chapter 5 are similar chapters. Chapter 3 is Karma Yoga. Chapter 5 is Karma Sannyas Yoga and has deeper discussion on the same topic, Karma Yoga. Chapter 5 explains how to practice the knowledge given in chapter 4. Chapter 5 is not on sannyasa, rather is sannyasa within karma. That is how karma can lead to no reaction. So that doing karma will be same as sannyasa. Hence, chapter 5 is the practice of jnana that we studied in chapter 4. In 5.29, Krishna has given us the peace formula. One who knows that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all sacrifices, austerities, and Krishna is proprietor of everything, then he is the well-wisher of all living beings. Such a person will attain peace. Can any one of the devotee please unmute and read the verse 5.29?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
5.29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasyam sarvaloke maheshwaram sutram sarvabhutanam gyatvamam sati richiti.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Bhokta means enjoyer. When we want to enjoy separate from Krishna, means I am fighting against Krishna because I am trying to take Krishna's position of Bhokta. How should one work in this material world? In 5.11, Krishna says one should work in material world with body, mind, intelligence, and even senses only for purification motive, so that can work only for Krishna. Lowest level is working for body and senses. Next level up is working for purification. We should at least be at this level. Highest level is working only for Krishna. Now let's compare Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are equal because both grant liberation. But in practice, Karma Yoga is easier than Jnana Yoga because inactivity is unnatural for soul. Here, Krishna is not referring to normal Karma Yoga. Rather, Krishna is referring to higher form of Karma Yoga, that is the Bhakti Yoga of serving Krishna. Does karma cause bondage? Krishna says no. Many think Karma Yoga cause bondage and renunciation leads to liberation. Krishna says no. Rather, if Karma Yogi fixes the mind on soul instead of senses, then Karma Yogi will remain free from bondage. Work does not cause bondage. Rather, the attachment causes bondage. Krishna is saying to follow akarma, means not renunciation of action, rather renunciation within action, because activity is natural for the soul. Detachment while doing activity is easier while compared to detachment with no activity. Example is creating a vacuum is very hard and even harder is to sustain the vacuum. So Jnana Yoga is harder and even harder is to sustain the Jnana Yoga level. So though Jnana Yoga is higher in the yoga ladder than Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga will not lead to higher destination. But what if one is not detached? If one is not detached, he is living with 6 wives, 5 senses and mind. Even if attached person goes to forest, he will still be bound because his mind is focused on senses, wanting to enjoy the senses. Rather, if one is self-controlled and detached, even if he stays at home with wife and children, he is still not bound. Verses 5.8 to 9 are the practice verses to separate mind from body. Let senses come in contact with sense objects for necessary body functions of seeing, hearing, eating, walking, breathing, etc. Simultaneously fix mind on Krishna. Krishna is saying that the wise understand that so many things happening within the body, I as a living entity, I am not the doer of these things. For a detached person working in the material world, the karma does not bind the soul, just as water cannot stick to the lotus leaf, even if water falls on the leaf. Lotus leaf doesn't get wet. Similarly, for a detached person, karma just washes off because there is no emotional attachment to bind the soul. Practicing karma yoga with detachment is at Atma Jnana level. Next, Krishna shifts the focus to Paramatma Jnana. By fixing mind on Paramatma, karma yogi attains liberation. Paramatma Jnana, knowledge of the super soul, will lead to liberation. Now let's see how karma yogi attains liberation by fixing mind on Paramatma. Here, Krishna will describe the result of focusing on Paramatma, and Krishna will also give us the process to reach the elevated stage. When a karma yogi fixes his mind on Paramatma, he fixes these 4 lanes on Krishna: intelligence, mind, faith, refuge, means to make Krishna as my goal. Then one moves towards liberation. Our consciousness moves in these 4 lanes. Result of having these 4 lanes fixed on Krishna is that we will not return to material world. So right now, without realizing the 4 lanes are going in different directions, I like Krishna consciousness or Bhagavad Gita philosophy. Also, think scientific advancements are also nice. When I chant, this is very nice, but when India wins cricket match, I like that also. Means mind gets emotionally involved in cricket. I have some faith in Krishna, but material life is not so bad, meaning faith is currently split. Yes, I want to go back to spiritual world, but I want to have good time here also. Later I will think of going back to spiritual world, meaning these 4 lanes through which my consciousness moves are going in different directions. This is like I am driving a car with 4 wheels going in 4 different directions. Then I can't move steadily. So the result of having these 4 lanes on Krishna is you will not return to this miserable material world. Now, Krishna will explain us a process of how to become elevated, how to get these 4 lanes synchronized to move in one direction. 5.18 is the Samadarshina verse or equal vision verse. One who is learned or one who is having all these 4 points fixed on Krishna will see everyone as equal, whether it be a human, whether it be a dog, or whether it be a dog eater, doesn't matter because he sees Paramatma within everyone. To fix intelligence, mind, faith, refuge on Krishna, and become Samadarshina, Krishna describes characteristics possessed by Siddha, purified, which are practiced by sadhaka. To be equipoised amid happiness and distress, give up external pleasure because of sense gratification is it is womb of misery. Don't get excited about sensual pleasures. Seek happiness within and concentrate on the supreme. Tolerate urges generated by desire, lust and anger. Tolerance is wall that prevents temptations from becoming actions. By Krishna conscious practice, desires will not go away. Rather, we become prepared to fight urges. Help others at soul level instead of giving food or money to anyone. Purify inner enemies, kama and krodha. Kama is lust and krodha is anger. Frustrated lust leads to anger. So, one needs a higher way to live and higher way to experience happiness to control kama and krodha. Instead of trying to empty mind, solution is to fill mind with Krishna, Kirtan, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam verses and other devotional desires. No lust will take long time, but no time for lust is possible. So busy yourself with Krishna conscious activities. Next is chapter 6. Chapter 6 title is Dhyana Yoga. Sanskrit name is Ashtanga Yoga. Chapter 6 is the last chapter in the Karma Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. Before going into the chapter 6, let's see the essence of first 6 chapters. With mind and sense control, realize 5.29, not just in theory but in practice, that Krishna is the only enjoyer. Bhoktaram yagya tapasham sarvaloka maheshwaram surdam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shanti ruchyati. As per 5.11, act with detachment for purification, meaning act in the world with detachment for purification only and not for sense gratification. Because action done in world with detachment is far better than renunciation of action. So that you can come to 6.47, meaning you come to Bhakti Yoga from wherever you are, whatever level, whatever position you are at. Yogimam api sarvesam madgatinantra atmanah shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo matah. Chapter 6 focuses on Ashtanga Yoga process, the different stages of realization and the importance of conquering the mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 6.29 is Paramatma realization. Krishna says that a true yogi observes Paramatma in all beings and also sees every being in the Supreme Lord. Indeed, the self-realized person sees Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, everywhere. Next, 6.30 talks about Bhagavan realization. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. But how to see God everywhere? We can see through his opulences. For example, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, Krishna says that I am the fire, I am the taste of water, I am the sun, I am the ability in men and many more. So it is not difficult to see God everywhere via Vibhuti Yoga. Next, verse 6.26 is a very important verse. Can any one of you please say what happens with your mind when you are chanting? What do you experience? Hare Krishna, can any one of you unmute and please tell me what do you experience while chanting?
Mataji, difficult to control the mind. It constantly keeps moving a million miles away and have to keep trying to bring it back. Distraction.
Yeah, absolutely, Mataji. So, in this verse, Krishna says that the nature of mind is to wander. You cannot stop the mind from wandering. Just we have to try to bring it back under the control of the soul. Recognize that the nature of mind is chanchalam, flickering. Treat mind as an untrusted outsider. We cannot stop mind from wandering. What we can do is, as soon as the mind wanders, recognize and bring it back again and again till we become a pure devotee. Proactively, we should occupy our mind in Krishna conscious activities, just as we give a toy to a child to keep him engaged. Chapter 6 describes the sadhana of Ashtanga Yoga. Here, Krishna describes about 8-fold activities of Ashtanga Yoga. They are the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. First 4 are called the Aruruksha stage. When one is in the beginning process of the yoga, that is a neophyte. At the stage, work itself will lead to advancement. The next 4 stages are called Aruda stage. When one is at Aruda stage, advanced stage in yoga, then one can stop work and he is equipoised to external things will lead to spiritual advancement. When one has to renounce the world, Krishna says to practice Ashtanga Yoga instead of Jnana Yoga to attain liberation. But Ashtanga Yoga is not recommended yoga process in Kali Yuga. So hence we will only highlight below some Ashtanga Yoga points that we can use. So engage body, mind, soul in Krishna's service. For chanting, the seat should be neither too high nor too low. And we should sit straight with body, head, neck in a straight line. We should not eat too much, should not fast too much, and should not sleep too much. Should not stay awake for too long. That is, should have balance. We should have balance in eating and sleeping. Practice yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. And abandon all material desires born of mental speculation, and thus we should control mind and senses. Whenever and wherever the mind wanders, try to bring it back under control, and we should show compassion to all. Now let's discuss about what acts as an obstacle to progress in the path of yoga. It is the mind. Mind is the main obstacle on the path of yoga, hindering process from Aruruksha, beginning stage, to Aruda, the advanced stage. Mind can act as our enemy. Therefore, we have to deal with the mind properly. To understand how can mind act as an enemy, let us look into the acronym MIND, M-I-N-D. There are 4 ways by which mind can act as our enemy. M, the mind magnifies problems. Means when there is a trouble, mind makes it to look bigger than what it may be. Next, I is the mind imagines pleasures. Means mind sees some object and goes into fantasy land. Next, N, the mind neglects opportunities. Mind distracts our thoughts towards the past or towards the future. By that, the mind neglects the opportunities that are in our hand at present. There are certain things that are in our control, and there are certain things which are not in our control. When we focus on what we can change, then we show Krishna the sincerity in our intentions, and Krishna will help us in what we can't change. Next is D, denies reality. Means mind refuses to acknowledge that the problem is it with self. The ultimate denial is that the mind denies the reality that we are suffering in material in existence. In verse 6.34, Arjuna tells Krishna that it is easier to control the wind than the mind. Arjuna thinks mind as restless, and that's why he cannot practice Ashtanga Yoga. Because mind is chanchal, childlike, restless, pramati, mad and agitating, balavad, mind is strong, dridam, obstinate. All these 4 items combined makes the mind very dangerous. Therefore, we have our worst enemy right inside us. So, mind is more powerful than the wind. In verse 6.35, Krishna says Arjuna how we can control our mind. Same mind acts either as a friend or enemy. If we are under the control of mind, then mind is our enemy. But if the soul is controlling the mind, then the same mind is our friend. By suitable practice of Bhakti Yoga, mind can be controlled. One who has conquered the mind, that person becomes peaceful and attains Paramatma and becomes Samadarshina. Hence, sees pebbles, gold, friends, enemies, all equally. Last topic for today. In verse 37 and 38, Arjuna asks about unsuccessful transcendentalist. Krishna had advised patience, persistence, and detachment to deal with mind. Controlling mind may be possible, but it will take very long time. What happens to the person who gives up the path of yoga due to some reason? This was Arjuna's doubt. Krishna's response to Arjuna's question is important for us to learn on how to respond when someone asks a question to us. Before giving philosophical answer, first Krishna gives emotional assurance to Arjuna to calm down Arjuna. Krishna says that one who follows spirituality path but was not able to complete, still such a person will never meet inauspicious destination. This emotional assurance helps Arjuna to calm down. Now, Krishna gives the philosophical answer. Option 1 is one who has done little advancement in spirituality, they go to heavenly planet to fulfill desires. Then, after pious credits finished, take birth either in pious or prosperous family in earth to continue spirituality from where they had left off. Or option 2 is one who has practiced spiritual life significantly. He takes birth in a family of rare transcendentalists to continue spirituality from where he left off. Krishna will give this opportunity for revival to everyone, but the sadhaka has to personally choose to start that practice. So, just because one has gone to heaven and come back down does not mean that temptations are gone and that one will straight away move to spiritual life. No, temptations and battles will always be there. But we should start endeavoring again for perfection. Because of previous practice of devotional service, devotee is helplessly attracted to spirituality in next life. Now it's quiz time. So, can you, which all verses do you all remember that we recited today?
Hare Krishna, 2.13,
Yes, Mataji.
the verse 2.13.
Yeah. Any other verse?
5.20.
Yes, Mataji.
4.2.
Yeah.
5.29, 6.47, 4.8, 4.9, 3.27, 2.62.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Thank you. These are the verses that we had discussed today. So the next question is, what is the standard way to receive the transcendental knowledge?
Hare Krishna. The standard way to receive the transcendental knowledge is parampara. I think the verse is Evam parampara praptam evam rajashayo vidu sa kalineha mata yoga nashta parantapa. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. So we have to receive the transcendental knowledge with the spiritual master. So by humbleness, by inquisitiveness, and service-mindedness. And do you all remember which is the spiritual master verse?
4.34.
Yes, Mataji, correct. So what is the primary purpose for the Lord's descent to this material world?
To associate with devotees, annihilate the miscreants, and to establish the principles of religion.
Actually, yes, Mataji. So it is the primary purpose of Lord's descent is to appease his unalloyed devotees. And what does the MIND acronym mean?
Magnify, imagine, neglect.
Yes, Mataji. So mind magnifies problem and I imagines pleasure and neglects opportunities. D for denies reality that mind is the problem. So
Any questions, comments, realizations for Priya Darshini's super excellent presentation?
Hare Krishna. Firstly, I would say that the presentation was absolutely incredible, going through each and every single chapter with such depth and also organizing all the points in such a manner which explains everything in a proper way is an incredible job. So, congratulations. It's amazing. My question was, there was this point in the presentation where it was stated that we should fix the mind on Krishna and not on other things. And on one of those points, it was mentioned that fix mind on Krishna. And if you do that, then you cannot simultaneously fix it on advanced scientific, like scientific advancements. So, can you please explain that point? Thank you.
So right now, without us realizing, our mind runs in different directions. That yes, I like Krishna consciousness, but I also like other things like scientific advancements, or when India wins cricket, then my mind is emotionally attached there also. So we have to make one pointed attention on Krishna. That other things will keep happening in the material world. We don't have to get emotionally attached to those other things. We just have to have one pointed attention. Vyavasatmika buddhi. Eke kuru nandana. 2.41 he says, Eke kuru nandana. That have one pointed attention on Krishna, then our intelligence, mind, and our faith and our refuge will all move in the same direction. Instead of right now, one day I like, on the weekend, yes, I like Krishna consciousness and Bhagavad Gita, and the rest of the day of the week, I'm running after material things. Well, that is not one pointed. So we need to have one pointed focus of all these points: intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge, everything on Krishna, 24 hours, 365. Then we will make a steady progress. As Priya Darshini correctly gave the example that you are driving a car, and right now the four wheels are going in four different directions. Therefore, I am not making steady progress. I'm doing in bits and pieces. So this is our goal, that we should not get emotionally involved with anything and everything that happens in the material world. Just continue the intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge, all focused on Krishna. Then we'll make steady progress. Bhaktish?
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you for your inquiry. Rest of you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Mataji. It was an amazing presentation. How you could manage to give a summary of 6 chapters. It was simply amazing. I will definitely go back and listen to this just to hear the summary of each chapter. There's so many points. It was amazing. I think there's no words to describe it. It was simply amazing.
Thank you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Priya. Very beautiful, summarize everything with the details and as Pragya Mother as Nitya Mother said, right? Really, we have to go again back and write it down, right? Oh, this verse is for this and that. Very nicely presented. Beautiful.
Thank you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Vimal? Vimal Prabhu, we cannot hear you. Vimal Prabhu, unmute, mute and unmute again or connect again. We still cannot hear you, Vimal Prabhu. Rest of you, any questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It's an extraordinary presentation. Thank you. And the efforts you put to prepare this topic was extraordinary. And we are being benefited. Actually, we are getting the things renewed in our mind. So that's an amazing thing. Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Very good. Thank you for listening with rapt attention. So definitely Priya Darshini's presentation is flawless presentation, covering so many points as Nitya and Archana and others correctly pointed out. Thank you for doing this presentation.
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Hare Krishna.
Thank you again. Just a quick announcement that next 2 weeks of August 9th and 16th, we will not have a class because my spiritual master, His Grace Vaishnav Das Adhikari, is in Toronto, and there'll be a lot of events and a lot of services. So as you can see on the screen, Bhagavad Express from August 7th, Friday to August 17th, Monday, every morning around 7:30 a.m. Toronto time, my spiritual master is going to give Srimad Bhagavatam class, which are going to cover all 12 cantos in the 10 mornings. So I request all of you to please try your best to attend my spiritual masters these Bhagavatam classes. They will be live. I will try my best to post the links in the WhatsApp group, but you can by yourself look up either my spiritual master's YouTube page or my spiritual master's Facebook page or ISKCON Toronto's YouTube page or ISKCON Toronto's Facebook page. They will all be live on all these channels. And I will try my best to also post links every day in the respective WhatsApp groups. So you can all try to join and take advantage of these classes. Those of you who are in Toronto and around area, there'll be a lot of services. I will soon post and have a quick chat with all of you together on these points. Some of you have shown interest to connect with my spiritual master for initiation or for taking him as Siksha Guru. You need to speak to me immediately or yesterday, because there is some document you need to populate and there are some steps to be done. So connect with me as soon as is possible. It is easier for me to speak to my spiritual master in person for you rather than having to connect via email. So this is the time if any one of you is interested. So next 2 weeks we will not have class, and then subsequent 2 weeks, we will again have the same Bhagavad Gita revisions for chapters 7 to 12. Riya will do, and then chapters 13 to 18, Priya Darshini and Riya will do it together. So stay tuned for other things to come up very soon. Any questions, comments, realizations before we stop for the day? Hare Krishna, everybody will stop here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.